Mr. 850 niggas right inside one. You fuck with one, you done. Street Fighter Capcom. I night calling your mom, so take.
Yo, what's going on, man? It's your boy, Kid Savage, back at it again with another Street Beefs commentary. And right now, we got a commentary of the one and only myself. I made it known in maybe like a few videos before that that I was training or doing my training for like my first amateur fight or whatever the case may be. And I was supposed to kept up with like I wanted to do like something like an embedded type of thing, just following me around as I train or whatever the case may be. But most of my training was done home, so I didn't really have too much video to showcase that. And then that it's only me just working on these things, so kind of gotta like bear with me on this stuff. So, but like I said, I was doing some training, and now they finally posted my fight, my first amateur fight, and that's what I'm about to commentate over and give y'all my thoughts. My not my first reaction, because I done seen this fight so many times now to the point where like I'm kind of like I wouldn't say over it, but I'm kind of like past that point of just feeling some kind of way about it or whatever the case may be. But yeah, this is my first amateur fight. Going into it, I felt pretty good. Got there, I got to see the cage there. I didn't get to see it being built up or whatever. When I got there, it was already built up. But once I got there, did the physicals, spoke to the doctors, gave my paperwork in or whatever the case, and I was like one of the first few people there. So just waiting there, waiting for everybody to get there, waiting for my opponent to get there, and got to see like everybody started crowded in or whatever. See when there was like pretty much nobody, to where it started getting a decent crowd, not too big or too crazy, nothing like that or whatever. It's an amateur event, so I mean, you ain't gonna get that many people coming to your stuff anyways, or coming to an amateur fight anyway. So, it was a decent crowd. Myself, I initially didn't know where my fight was gonna be placed at. It wasn't until like I think the weigh-ins probably, or the day of the fight, that I found out that who I was going to be fighting, one, and then two, where my fight would be placed at. I found out that my fight was the co-main, so that was like another added pressure to also it being my first amateur fight. So I guess you can say like I got a taste of what it's like to be in the prime time or whatever. Not prime time, let me stop. Oh, scratch that. I got a taste of what it could be like, being the second to last, that everybody be there and waiting to see or whatever the case may be. I wasn't nervous. Like, it's crazy because every time I get ready to fight or have a fight lined up or whatever, whether it's street beefs or this here, my nerves gets to me in the beginning. But when it's time to fight or the day of the fight, it's like all that is gone. I don't have no nervousness. I don't feel nervous. I don't feel like antsy or anything like that. It's like I'm ready, and I'm just not necessarily anticipating, but I'm just kind of like, just waiting for it to happen or whatever the case may be. And maybe that's to speak to how everything played out in my first amateur event, because I'll just elaborate a little bit more if I remember after everything. But yeah, it was a crazy time and experience. I'll just say that while I was waiting for everybody to get done fighting, met some familiar faces. Fire Lord, I seen him. He was there. He was rooting for me. Had a few of my friends from a while back ago come up. My family showed up. My brothers showed up. Yeah, and then they was pretty much my coaches. Pretty much, they was in my corner or whatever. While I was waiting for the fights, I was hitting the bag, getting warmed up or whatever the case. And by the time it came up for me, you got my music played, got ready to go up there, and things was a little already off kilter or whatever the case, because the fight that happened before me, I was thinking that since it's MMA, that it may go 5 rounds. I mean, go the whole 3 rounds. But after I had did my last bag work, my last sets of mitt work, Something told me like, start getting ready now because this fight is already before my fight and my fight is next. So did that, and I think the fight ended maybe the first or second round or something, and that's when it kind of had hit me like, oh man, I'm slacking. I ain't even got my shin pads on. I ain't even went over there to get my gloves or find out what's going on. Like, it was such a scramble that it kind of shows in my walkout. And if I got the video, I'll pretty much post it on here too. But it kind of shows in my walkout. Like, I got to the cage, had on my own gloves, not knowing that they got their own gloves that you're supposed to wear. Had the wrong color corner on. Had on my red shins, but I'm actually in the blue corner with the blue glove, with the blue tape around the gloves. Like, it was a mess, man. Like I said, I'll elaborate on it a little bit more, but it was a chaotic mess. It was crazy, and yeah, I mean, we get to see how I performed on my first amateur event. So without further ado, here we go. Looking good, bouncing, felt good, man. Just in there, bouncing around, throwing some kicks out. Seeing him, I knew he was a wrestler when I first saw him. So he went in and got close, went to tying up with me, throwing a bunch of knees. And like, maybe I probably should have disengaged with him, but I kind of wanted him to like tire out. So he kept throwing the knees. I tried to strike out. He ended up getting the Muay Thai. And I started blocking most of it, him getting all rowdy and stuff. But I was okay. He hit me some, but it didn't hurt or nothing. Me just still bouncing, still throwing out kicks, just trying to see what he react to. After a while, I started throwing like faint jabs or whatever. Caught him as he was coming in with a nice hook. Here, just bouncing. So now I'm starting to get a read on him. Throw out a fake jab, throw out a jab, a hook, another jab, caught him with the hook. Now he's starting to get close. He's starting to realize that he probably can't do too much with me on the stand-up. Comes in close. I jumped the guillotine, literally jumped the guillotine and gave him the takedown. Cameraman getting all messed up. But yeah, I shouldn't have jumped that guillotine so fast. That's where I messed up at. But live and learn. Here, I had his neck. Because like I said, I jumped the guillotine and I thought maybe if I grabbed his neck, it would discourage him from like trying to do anything. But he had my neck and he was cranking. And as you hear, his coaches are telling him to get heavy on the neck so that way it can deter me from having his neck. But I kept holding on to it, was regaining guard. I had the choke in, had guard, but he still had my neck and I couldn't do too much. Here, he was able to pry my hands loose. My arms were starting to get tired. And now from here, I'm just trying to like survive and block and just trying to stop him from doing anything. You can hear Firelord in the back telling me to use my feet to kick him off me. I was doing that, but then I seen his leg was near, so I was trying to use his leg to kind of like sweep him. But his wrestling was strong. When I seen dude at the weigh-ins, I looked at him and could already tell like he looked like a wrestler and received some advice about that. But yeah, this is just pretty much me just trying to hold him down, get the ref to stand us up, and trying to make sure he's not posturing up to rain down no serious ground and pound. Which I think I did a pretty decent job of, but you know, he's a strong wrestler. He was putting on the pressure, he was putting on the pace. I couldn't keep him down, so the ref wasn't really able to like tell him like he's stalling or whatever, because he was doing what he's supposed to do. The coaches are really coaching him real good, trying to get him to like understand, like just keep pounding away, keep grounding, pounding. Me, I keep trying to come up and hit him, grab onto him and get him to fold under, but after he got both arms free, I turned over, gave up myself, and he was able to just wing down, ground and pound. And at that point, it was the end of the round, and you know, 2 seconds left. If I realized that, I would have been able to kind of like last and do something with it, but you know, stuff happens. But yeah, he ended up getting the victory via TKO. I wasn't hurt or anything. It's just that I got gas, like between him putting on the pressure wrestling, like me trying to hold his arm, him still being able to swing, and me being conscious about that. It's kind of like he made me gas out. As much as I feel like he probably gassed out too. Excuse me. As much as I feel like he probably gassed out too, I was gassing out as well, because it got to a point where, yeah, he was kind of like throwing strikes and I was trying to attack with maybe some submissions, but I mean, realistically, the only thing I had was like that guillotine. It didn't really. If I would have been able to get the guillotine and then get my head out, I believe I would have been able to kind of like maybe finish the fight or maybe got him to kind of like give up position or something. But he had my head, like I said, and when he had my head the first time after the takedown, he was cranking on it, and after the fight, I felt like my neck was hurting. I think my foot was hurting, my left foot, and then the takedown itself, his shoulder kind of like drove into my chest, and my chest was like hurting. So everything was sore after the fight. My chest especially, because I think maybe a week, 2 weeks in, after that whole thing was happening, my chest was still bothering me, and like, that shit, man, it was annoying. I wanted to do an ice bath, but I didn't have all the stuff or whatever the case may be, but neither here nor there. Now I'm fine, I'm good, obviously, but that takedown, it took a lot out of him, and I think because of that takedown, like, he was starting to win, and I felt him kind of like slowing up a bit, and I went and I thought to myself, like, with him being on top of me and him trying to finish the fight and throw down all this ground and pound, I was thinking if I could kind of lock his arms up and keep him still, that maybe that I can possibly like get him to exhaust himself and get him to kind of like almost like get tired, and like I can hold him down and stall him out or whatever the case. But it didn't really play to my favor like I wanted it to. Like I said, he was a real good wrestler. He's a real good pressure wrestler. Every time I would kind of lock him down, his coaches was doing a good job and telling him, like, you know, put your arms in his face, try to break that grip and posture back up and rain down more ground and pound. And he was able to do that just fine. In my corner, I had my friends in them, but you know, no shade on them. They not as, you know, they not like MMA coaches. Let's put it like that. So I can only pretty much go based off of what I remember, what Firelord was saying in the crowd, because I heard him out of everybody. Like, in that whole fight, man, you can hear people cheering or whatnot, but I heard him. He was the loudest, and a lot of the stuff he was saying, I made sure I did. He said put the foot on him and kick him off. Put my foot on him, tried to kick him off, but when I seen his leg was close, I was trying to grab his leg and sweep out of that. I was just trying to make sure that I was keeping damage to a minimum and that I wasn't gassing out. So that's why maybe my movements on the ground may seem maybe labored, or maybe seem like I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't trying to do too much to where I overly exerted myself, but maybe in hindsight, maybe I probably should have. But either way it go, man, like, I was gassed out, man. Like, that last time that I tried to grab him and he broke the guard, I had gassed out, and the only reason I really turned over like that, not because I was hurt, but because I was trying to avoid punches, because I knew that my grip was finna get broken. And if I was like thinking like smart enough, I would have just kind of like start moving my head while I'm on the ground, or probably try to catch an arm or block his arm up, or just something to kind of like last at least 2 more seconds. Because this, like, the first round, it was looking good for me up until that takedown. Like, on the stand-up, he came in, he threw those knees in the clinch, and yeah, some of them hit me, but after a while he was throwing them, and that probably, and I think that gassed him out as well. And I was able to block some once we got into the Muay Thai plum. We got into the plum, I was blocking most of them, so he was really doing a lot of movement, a lot of extra movement, really for nothing. And I think when I was piecing him up, that's what really made him get into alert mode and realize that he needed to take this fight down, because I'm striking with him, and yeah, he's striking too, but none of his punches are landing. Even when he rushed me, that was just so that way he can get in close and close the distance and try to tie up with me, which he was able to do. But yeah, but either way you look at it, man, he still was able to implement his game plan. He still got close. I gave him a takedown, which ended up leading to him kind of like getting a victory or whatever the case, and all props to him. What I wanted to touch on though was like I say, when I got ready for this fight, I was kind of like in the mode where it's like, you know, I guess you can say I thought kind of I had all the time in the world, so I didn't really like get to it like with the urgency. Well, I did get to it with the urgency. It's just that I didn't think that fight before me would have been so short. You know what I mean? And that's the thing with MMA. Sometimes you don't know what's gonna happen, so the fight can end just like that. So next time I'll do a better job of making sure that I'm ready ahead of time. Won't warm up. I mean, I'll warm up, of course, but I'll make sure I warm up a few fights before my fight, or whatever the case may be. Because when that fight ended, by the time that fight ended, I was just putting on my shins. And once I got that done, no, I was putting on my shins and my music was playing. So my entrance music was playing while I'm putting on my shins, and I ain't even nowhere near the cage. So now I finally start walking to the cage as the what you call it? Not the crescendo or whatever the high point of the song is. Right when the high point of the song started, I'm finally getting up to the cage. I get to the cage. I got everything on. I got my gloves on, but didn't realize that the gloves I had on, I needed to change and use the promotions gloves. So in the video that I'll show you, I had to walk back to the table and get some of the gloves, and end up being some used gloves, I guess. Had to put those on, had to get the tape wrapped around my gloves, tape wrapped around my shins, and the tape that got wrapped around my gloves was blue. I was supposed to be in the blue corner, he was supposed to be in the red corner. And it was already all messed up because in the video you see that he had on blue shins and I had on red shins. But it's like he's in the red corner and I'm in the blue corner. He had on blue shins, red tape gloves. I had on red shins, blue tape gloves. And it's like from there it was already combobulated, dysfunctionized, and all this other stuff. And I remember like asking myself, like walking up to the cage, like, is you ready? And I was like, yeah. I told my brother this, like after everything was said and done. Told my brother and told my homeboy that was there with me. I told myself, I was asking myself, am I ready? I was like, yeah. And then another question came to me, so what's the problem? And I didn't really think too much of it at the time. I was just thinking like, maybe that's finally the nerves coming on. But maybe that was it. Maybe that was just my inner self realizing that I didn't give myself a chance to be in the moment as everything was going down. Like from the walk in, from the walk up, from even going to get my my gear and everything, make sure I was in the proper corner. Cause I feel like maybe if I would have allowed myself to be in the moment, then maybe things would have probably played out different. Maybe I wouldn't have had like, cause even when I got in the cage, I didn't have the nerves, but once the fight started, it felt like something was off just a little bit.
Something's off.
I just felt like maybe I should have been a little bit more ready, basically. I'll just put it like that. I was ready, yeah, but I don't think I was ready, period. And maybe that's probably why, I got gassed so fast, because I made sure I did my runs. I trained like I was supposed to, train more than I actually ever have trained, really. And I could have still went harder, of course, but compared to how I train for street beefs to how I train for actual amateur fights, it pales in comparison. And like, I just felt like maybe if I would allow myself to be more in the moment, then maybe things would have turned out different. I mean, you never know, honestly, but it just, to me, like, next time around, and also next time around, I won't be doing MMA. It'll be strictly kickboxing, because this event, I wanted to do kickboxing, but they didn't have nobody for it, so I just said, screw it, I'll do MMA. And, did MMA. But next time around, I'll make sure that I'm ready, I'm in the zone, I'm in the moment, I'm taking in the moment, and I'll make sure I get myself in the right mind frame to destroy, Because a lot of times, even in my street beefs fight, I try to be level-headed as possible so that way I don't come out reckless or whatever the case. But when you in combat, sometimes, man, you gotta have that. You gotta have bad intentions on the mind. You gotta have the mindset that if I slip up at one point or one moment, this person gonna hurt me. So I need to be in the mind state to where, like, if they gonna hurt me, then I need to hurt them too. And it's nothing personal. It's just that we step in the cage, the ring, to do damage to each other. And it's like, it's not too many nice things you can do or say to a person when you're doing that. So why the resistance or whatever the case. So I'll make sure next time around that I'm even more prepared. I train even a little bit more, and that my mind is in the zone, is in the moment, and I'm living in the moment as it is happening. Because as it stands now, in my whole fight career, I guess, if you include street beef, I'm like on a 4-fight skid. Yeah, I'm on a 4-fight skid, and that's including kickboxing. So, like, I gotta tighten up if I want to keep doing this a little like more longer. I'm not a young sprechen like most of these guys are. 32, and like I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be doing this, considering that that age really does play a factor. So, other than that, I think I touched on about everything I wanted to touch on. I also wanted to say that I'm gonna try to make sure I get back on my commentary with street beefs and whatnot. Like I told y'all earlier, like it's only me doing all these videos. I'm editing them. I'm making the videos. I'm getting the videos, the highlight videos of all other videos of people that's fighting in street beefs or whatever. And I'll try to keep doing that as much as I can. But if I don't, then just understand it's only me. It's always been me just doing this. So, But till I get back out there again, or whatever the case may be. This has been your boy, Kid Savage, back at it again with another Street Beefs commentary. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to say? No? Peace.
Town, see these young niggas be getting down. Ride round my side of town. See these young niggas be getting down. Ride round my side of town. See these young
Boy, the man of the hour. Are you ready?
Nothing's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with me.
Side.
Something's got to give. Something's got to give. Something's got to give.
That boy side corner man.
Sir.
Better gonna give the pointers.
Damn it, man. You're gonna be in that too.
What? See? What? Team Savage. Team Savage.
Killer King. Niggas is fucking finished. This shit too easy for me now. Nigga call me going back since back when CDs was around. When you sold out triple debt, I can't believe these fucking crowds. Look at everybody clapping when your 30th song album doing me.
And his opponent, Matt Heilman.
You over here in the back, I'm doing a little warm up. Like as soon as you come.
In the first round, Matt Heilman.
That boy, Ghost Reef is in the building. The coach. That boy me. Ah! Oh shit.
You good? I just tripped over that shit too.
Y'all ready to big little bro here.
I want to thank everybody for coming out. My name's Sky, El Chulo Loco, Mosi Check. I'm another pro fighter promoter for this event. Absolutely awesome event. I want to thank everybody for coming out to it. We definitely appreciate you being here. You guys to see your fighter. Stay around for the next 3 fights. Only 3 fights left. They are absolute
Bullshit, man.
Hopefully a knockout. Hopefully.
Hey, hit that boy liver.
Shout out.
Hell of a night, boy.
That's the first
Hell of a night, dude.
Microphone check up. And his opponent, making his way to the ring, Odicerous Cartier.
Stand it up.
Get one more in before we start making our way over there.
One more in?
Yeah.
One more. Different combination?
Oh, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna work that,
That last, the other kid.
this one. Yeah. The combo. 1, 2, 1. So 1 uppercut, left kick, right? Okay. 1 uppercut, left kick. Okay? Yep. Uppercut. Uppercut.
And just like when it is done.
Keep the camera.
Oh man. That was a great guillotine choke, really quick coming on. Our winner by guillotine choke, Odysseus Cartier.
Try hard, Savage! Try hard!
Come on, kid.
Let's go, Ken!
Oh, no, no, no. Come on, kid.
Good block! 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 You gotta break that
Come on, kid.
Good block, though! Come on, Savage! Fight, good block, Savage! He's gonna burn himself out, Savage! Oh. Fuck that shit! Fuck that shit! Get his ass, Savage! Good jab, stay calm! Good fight, Savage! Don't rush it! There you go! Don't rush it! That's right, Savage! There you go! That's right!
Come on, kid.
Hands up, hands up! Keep them hands up!
He's tired now! On the knees! There you go! You gotta get your guard, Savage! To choke him, you gotta get your guard, Savage! Stand up, Savage!
Come on, kid.
Reset!
Stand up! Wall walk, Savage! There you go! Alrighty.
All right. Yeah, he got it held up. That's right.
You gotta pass that up. You gotta get your arm, your head from under his armpit, Savage. Good job. Use your feet. Use your feet, Savage. Push him off of you. Yes. Push his waist with the feet, Savage. Push his waist.
Come on, kid. Damn.
Get up. Get up. Get up.
Damn.
That's no good. Good job. Hold him. Hold him, Savage. The ref will stand you up. Hold him, Savage. Roll him, Savage, to your left. Roll him to your left. You got his arm trapped. Oop up. Bridge and roll, Savage. Bridge and roll, Savage. Come on, kid. Push it with your feet.
Come on, kid.
Good job. You gotta get that octopus guard, Savage. You gotta get your arm across his back. Get your left arm across his back, Savage. Get your left arm across his back, Savage.
Yeah, damn.
10 seconds, you're good. Don't stop, Savage.
Hey,
With seconds left,
yeah.
the referee calls the end of that contest.